Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is a regular city council meeting set for Monday, February 24th. And we'll have a roll call. Ward 1. Here. Ward 3. Here. Mayor here. We do have a quorum. And we are going to go into executive session. The City Council will recess open meeting and reconvene in executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, consultation with attorney. It is 4:32 and we are in executive session. Before we continue, we will go ahead with the Pledge of Allegiance, which we did not do earlier. If you would join us for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Have a seat.
Is this what you're meeting or no?
The next item on the agenda is a business item related to the executive session we just had. In relation to that, we have two motions.
I think I actually make my motion on agenda item number 9, and that's further on where it says consider the approval. Yeah. So the two, I think it's just yours, Brad. It is. That you'll make under the business item, and then mine will be made toward the latter part of the agenda.
Okay. I move to approve the agreement Concho Street Drainage Project and ongoing navigation district with changes made in executive session and final approval being signed by the mayor.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Have a motion and second. Any further question or discussion? Not, we'll call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It's unanimous. Next item is citizens to be heard. We have no one who has signed a card for citizens to be heard. Consent agenda. Wait, I see something down here. There. Okay, consent agenda. Following items may be acted upon in a single motion. No separate discussion on or action on any of the items will be held unless pulled at the request of a member of the City Council. Does any member of the council wish to pull an item? There's only one.
No. I move to approve consent agenda as presented.
Have a motion to approve. Have a second.
I will second.
Motion and second. Further question? We'll call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It is unanimous. Next item on the agenda, consider approval on first reading of Ordinance 1964, repealing the City of Rockport Code of Ordinances, Chapter 40, Employees, Article 1, Personnel Policy, providing finding of fact, repealer severability, compliance, and Open Meeting Act, providing for an effective date. Ms. Edens.
Yes, so we are working on amendments to the personnel policy, and our HR attorney noted that the current personnel policy is in the Code of Ordinances, which it should not be. So it should have been passed under resolution. So we have to repeal the ordinance first, then, and this is the first reading for that, and then once that's done, we can pass any changes to the personnel policy under resolution.
Okay, all right. Questions about that, Council?
Go.
I move to approve the repeal of Ordinance 1964.
I have a motion. Have a second.
I will second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further question? If not, we'll call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It's unanimous. Next item, May 3rd, 2025, City of Rockport General Election. Consider acceptance of Certificate of Unopposed Candidates for the City of Rockport.
Okay, so y'all just approved your ordinance calling the election and no one else filed but the two incumbents. So now we need to cancel the election and you'll declare that you also will adopt an ordinance declaring the two unopposed as elected. However, they cannot take office or any of that until after the canvass period time. So before we can approve the ordinance on first reading, I'm requesting that you approve the Certificate of Unopposed Candidates.
All right.
So it's going to be two motions.
Okay.
I move to approve the acceptance of the Certificate of Unopposed Candidates for the City of Rockport.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further question? Not, we call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Mayor, aye, it's unanimous. Consider approval on the first reading of Ordinance 1965, canceling the May 3rd, 2025 general election of the City of Rockport, Texas, and declaring two unopposed candidates for City Council Ward 1 and 3 as elected, requiring posting of this ordinance at each polling place in accordance with state law, requiring the issuance of certificate of election to each candidate, providing a severability clause, providing an effective date.
I move to approve item 5.2 as presented.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I will second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further question? Not, we'll call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Mayor, aye, it's unanimous. Consider approval on second and final reading of Ordinance 1963, amending the City of Rockport Code of Ordinances, Chapter 98, Traffic and Vehicles, Article 3, Speed, Section 98-51, 98-61, and amending Appendix T-33, providing for the validity of said ordinance, repealing all prior ordinances in conflict herewith, providing an effective date. Chief?
Mayor and Council, there has been a change to the ordinance from the first reading at the last council meeting. After some considerations came up, or some concerns came up in Key Allegro on the island, I reached out to the board of the island and asked them if they wanted to leave Bay Shore at 30 miles an hour, or if they wanted it to be included in the ordinance, which would change it to 25 miles an hour. The board polled their residents, and I don't have the numbers, but it was something in the 30s to the single digits.
Significant 4 versus like 3 or 4 against.
And so they overwhelmingly, their residents that they polled responded that they wanted to leave Bay Shore at 30 miles an hour. They actually passed a resolution wanting the roadway Bay Shore to stay 30 miles an hour. So I made a change to the ordinance, and I moved Bay Shore Drive to Appendix T-33 in the ordinance as staying at 30 miles an hour. Everything else in the ordinance is the same. Fulton Beach Road, Broadway, Colorado, Stadium Drive is all 30 miles an hour, as well as all the residential neighborhoods.
Okay. Thank you, Chief. Questions, Council?
Thanks, Chief, and I appreciate you taking that to the board and the residents that took time to express their opinions on it. I mean, it's one of our widest streets, residential streets, and we just restriped it, so I feel like it's pretty safe. I move to approve item 6 as presented with the change of T-33.
Have a motion, to have a second?
I'll second.
Do you have a second? Any further question? Not, we'll call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Mayor, aye, it's unanimous.
Thank you.
Item number 7, consider approval of resolution 2025-08R, the City of Rockport, Texas, appointing the mayor, chief executive officer, and authorized representative to and in all matters in connection with the FEMA Hazard Mitigation Assistance Grant project, and committing the city to provide matching funds to secure, complete, and FEMA Hazard Mitigation Grant. Ms. Henry.
Yes, Mayor, Council, thank you. These two projects were originally in a previous grant when we applied for the generators, but these two projects were immediately removed. We have continued with the generators. We found now another grant source for these two projects, and we are asking for permission to go forward with that process.
Okay. Questions, council?
Move to approve item 7 as presented.
Have a motion and a second.
I will second.
Motion and a second. Any further question? Not, we'll call for a vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It's unanimous. Item number 8, consider approval of resolution 2025-09R of the City of Rockport, Texas, authorizing the award of administrative project delivery service provider contract for the 2025 Community Development Block Grant Downtown Revitalization Program being allocated through the Texas Department of Agriculture, be awarded to Langford Community Management Services. Ms. Henry.
Yes, thank you again. This is in preparation for us applying for a downtown revitalization grant, and we've gone through the RFP process, and the highest score receiver was Langford Community Services.
All right. Questions, council?
Ms. Henry, we worked extensively with both for previous grants, correct? We have
Yes,
good,
sir.
Good relationships with both.
We have great relationships with both entities. It just depends on the project as to kind of how we go.
Okay, awesome. I move to approve item 8 as presented.
Have a motion to have a second.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further question? If not, we will call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It's unanimous. Item number 9, consider approval of resolution 2025-06R appointing members to the Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone, TIRZ, number 1, Board of Directors for the City of Rockport, Texas. Ms. Schroner.
Mayor and Council, you interviewed potential board members today, and so if it's your pleasure, you are certainly welcome to appoint board members tonight of your choosing. I would, however, ask that you hold off on appointing the navigation district member. I know that you've visited with them, but we would like to get the interlocal agreement in place before we make that appointment. I don't necessarily think that it would change, but we need to have all of our legal documents lined out prior to that.
All right. We have a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve agenda item number 9 as presented, appointing the following individuals into the following positions. In seat 1, we have chair as Noel Byrne, correct? Noel Byrne? Okay. And then chair 2 is Kevin Baker. Chair 3, Mark Wagnon. Chair 4, Katy Jackson.
Have a motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further question? Not, we'll call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Oh, aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It's unanimous. Item 10, consider approval of construction change directive number 6 with Teal Construction related to new City Hall project. Ms. Henry.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is regarding the City Hall project. It is our 6th change directive, and this one in totality, if approved, would actually be a negative of just under $3,700 for the 4 items being presented. One of them is the bird deterrent, which is basically up around the tower, and we don't think that's necessary. If it is, we'll consider it at a later date. The circulation pump in the janitor's closet, they need electricity for that, and it wasn't in the original drawing, so we need to add that. And then the relay that will trip the breaker inside the elevator machine room, so that in case the fire alarm goes off, that's an extra trip in there to automatically get to the closest floor and then stop the elevator totally. And then the VAS panel, and that has to do with, it has to do with your HVAC system, and it's basically a system that monitors that for you, and there was not electricity for that system, and again, that's adding electrical for that process.
All right, questions, council?
I move to approve item 10 as presented.
I have a motion to have a second.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further question?
Can you bring us more where they save us money?
I would love to.
We'll call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. I need to make a quick correction for the past item just a little while ago, in case there is a English grammar teacher somewhere close by. If you have a copy of the material you were passed out, resolution number 2525-6R, a resolution appointing members to the tax increment reinvestment zone, TIRZ, number 1, all inside parentheses, as opposed to number 1 being outside parentheses, Board of Directors of the City of Rockport, Texas. So now you know where the change is. Number 11, receive an update provided by Lloyd Gosselink of ERCOT's capacity, demand, and reserve CDR report. Robbie Sorrell.
Yes, sir. Again, this is just an update. We received a letter, an email from Lloyd Gosselink, and the latest capacity, demand, and reserve report as of December that came out was predicting that we were anticipating that given the growth, basically the growth primarily in data centers and crypto miners that we're looking at coming onto the system, including the Stargate announcement that we heard that where Trump was announcing that we were getting, what was it, $100 billion investment up by Abilene on 875 acres, that coming on, that not just because of that, but in conjunction with, that we were looking at having about a 65% increase in megawatt capacity, going from 82,964 in the summer of 2025 to 137,111 by the summer of 2029. And what they're expecting at this point, and again, it's subjective, but they're expecting that in 2026 we may be about 6.2% short of peak demand during summer in 2026, and that could possibly increase up to 32.4% peak demand in summer of 2029. They're looking at some different alternatives. There's some people are saying, well, that's not realistic, that's not possible, but this did come out, and so we just wanted to bring it to council's attention.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
questions?
You.
All right. Thank you. City Manager's update.
Mayor, Council, you have my update, I believe. It'll be on the website in the morning. The thing of biggest note in there is, not that we ever don't have it, but it's starting to be event season. So there's something every weekend if y'all want to do it. Other than that, Chief still has his 4.5-star rating, so. 4.6. 4.6. If Lee had a rating, it'd be 5.6, but whatever. So, other than that, if there's questions, I know everybody's tired, email me, call me, and if there's any further information you would like to see put on the web, I'd be happy to do that for you guys.
Okay.
Whatever you like.
Questions, Council?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Reports from City Council.
I don't have too much to report other than got the application in for an additional 4 years, so appreciate all the support came from the ward. I look forward to putting in another good 4 years with the team, so that's about it.
Thank you. Glad to have you back still. Matt, Ward 2.
The only thing I have to say is thank you for the invitation. I was invited to go to the Mardi Gras parade the other day and really enjoyed that. That was the first time I got to go as a city council member, and tremendous amount of hard work by the fire team over there and all the volunteers. I just appreciate the invitation. It was a great event.
Thank you. Ward 3, Brad.
Piggybacking on what Matt said, the mayor, myself, and Matt went out to the Mardi Gras, and we're in the parade. And I just want to say thank you to the guys at Fleet that got our golf cart decorated. I mean, if I could have get an award for the best float of the parade, I don't want to be biased, but I would say we won, hands down. It was beautiful. Thank y'all to all the team that put it all together, getting it out there, getting it delivered, getting everything ready for us. Thank you so much for making us look good. That's a tough deal, making the three of us look good, but y'all did it. So thank you. Let's see, we got the Hooping Crane Strut coming up on the 8th, I believe, March 8th. Good event down at the beach. Depends on how far you want to run. You can run to downtown too, if you want to keep running off the beach. But that's a good event. Come down and support the city, the Parks Department with that. I'm trying to think of anything else that's coming up. It'll be on the website. That's all I have.
When is the Oyster Fest coming? They're getting the golf cart ready for that now.
First weekend of March.
Okay.
First weekend of March every year.
So support the Fulton Fire Department. Be sure and attend that. It's a good party. I don't have anything. The other folks took care of all of it, so I would entertain motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? We have a second. We're adjourned.